We live in an age where those in power are openly using every weapon at their disposal to impose their will upon the future. Where the principles of authoritarianism and individualism stand in open conflict in the streets, in the courts, in the news, in everyday life. Where the choices we make and the choices that are made for us have consequences no one can foresee. You do not stand alone. You do not fight alone. You do not suffer alone. We are united. We resist. We are here with you. As long as there is a truth that remains hidden, as long as lies are spread openly, we will continue to speak out. We will continue to question. We will continue to be the united resistance.
What do you want to do now, Cap?
The same thing we always do. Fight them until we can't.
Wow, really, Keely? Oh my God, the chat is on fire. Yes, this is episode 57 of us fighting them until we can't. Welcome on into a Valentine's Day edition of United Resistance. I'm sure the others will be on the way soon. You know how people like to just be fashionably late on this show. Will is a Fed, by the way. So nothing new. Oh, wow, Radioactive. I did not see that. I got to see that.
If I'm a Fed, then I'm not doing my job by shutting this shit down.
No, you're a Fed because you wear a Yankees hat.
I
but-
never even thought of that. Of
Yeah.
course. It all makes
Yeah.
sense now.
Yeah. The pride of AOC's district. No, I'm just kidding. Hail to Keely Chow. Hail to Big John. What's going on, dude? Hail to Low Spec Linux Laptop is in the house. Tobad is here. He's making a living off Will being a Fed.
It's
Ruben
social
Christopher-
media wise. Just social media wise, he's making a living. I don't know how he makes.
Ruben Christopher Haynes is here. What's going on, Ruben? And Janet from Another Planet is here because we need somebody good looking on the panel.
Now we can start the damn show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, I was late.
Tehillim is in the house. What's going on,
Reminds
Tehillim?
me, I forgot my sunglasses.
And of course, we have Mr. Radioactive in the house. What's going on, dude? So we got a cast of thousands already in the chat. I love it. Great to see you guys. I titled the stream very tongue in cheek, "Happy Single Alien Day," because all those people flooding across the border, they need love too. And oh, by the way, all the people driving the UFOs need the love too. But I guess that's as good a place to start as any. So over the past week, we've had a bunch of strange objects shot down ever since the balloon. Now, a lot of these are other different balloons. One of them is, it's rumored that one of them was a National Weather Service apparatus, which is hilarious. I mean, how more inept can the government be? But this is par for the course. under this administration. But the thing with the UFOs, all right, and I explained this on Midnight Prism on Sunday, because we were talking about the UFO specifically, and listen, I host a paranormal program. I host a Midnight Prism. You guys know what that's about. We get into the wild and weird and wacky stuff. That's wild stuff, and we have that sort of dynamic where, me, especially as the host, I am one of those I want to believe type of people. Okay. But when you see this shit, it's so blatantly obvious it's a psyop. So blatantly obvious it's a psyop. And all you need pay attention to is what it's distracting you from. And what it's distracting you from is what I believe is a concentrated number one effort to bait people into World War III, because that's what I think is the little game of chess that's being played with the UFOs to a lesser degree. The other thing is they're distracting from, definitely, there is either a domestic terrorist organization. Well, we already know the organization that is controlling said domestic terrorist organization, and that is the World Economic Forum and the global elites. But there is an attack on the United States infrastructure right now, more so than ever before. They're not content anymore with the mysterious food facility fires. That wasn't enough. Which, oh, by the way, we're up to probably 100 plus worldwide now. Oh, no, they weren't happy with that. So now let's move on to directly attacking your water supply, directly poisoning your air, directly poisoning your soil. And it's very weird that in East Palestine, Ohio, about an hour and a half from me, which, again, not even back in December did you have a movie called White Noise that had the same plot, a train derailment with a toxic cloud.
Well, do you think that somebody that was involved or watched that movie planned this based on what they saw?
What I think this is, Janet,
I don't think they necessarily needed that as motivation, but it pretty much goes down the same. It's the same pathology, definitely.
Programming, but what goes beyond the predictive programming aspect here is the fact that I think this was a coordinated attack on the United States infrastructure, and I do believe that and I've told you folks before. Listen, when it comes to the World Economic Forum and the global elites in general, they have their own private army. They have an entire PMC organization that has the level of sophistication and army and resources that a small country does. So it's not far-fetched to say there is a group running around and attacking these particular points of in the United States. This is an attack. I don't believe it was an accident because it's so very convenient, the area. If you think about it, our major rivers in this country, Mississippi, Missouri, Ohio, you directly affect 22 different states altogether just by poisoning or tainting the Ohio
River. Look at what states are being affected. What color are these states?
A lot of them happen to be red. Oh, gee, I wonder.
Interesting.
And it all comes together. Okay, it all comes together, and that, is what we need to look at here. The distraction is the UFO bullshit and the people over Twitter saying, "Oh, the aliens are here! Oh my God!" Thinking, they watched Independence Day one too many times. While that would be great, I would love to say, wow, we actually made first contact. No, I don't believe that for one.
It's actually we're having undocumented balloons. You know what I mean? But the thing is, think about it. You had these balloons floating around for a long time before anyone even started saying anything about them. To me, I do believe it's a setup. And I think they were let loose inside the United States, not from the ocean or anything like that. And I think it was a test to see how far away and how many people would even notice and react to them. And next time there could be something inside one of those balloons.
Hail to Pinochet's Helicopter Tours. What up, Tony? I may be single, but no need to resort to calling me an alien. Yeah, well, that's okay.
Just don't get defensive about it. They'll look into you anyway.
It's okay, Drew. In the blue states, they just engineer viruses to be deadlier. Yes, it's true. Big John says, yet our transportation secretary, which, oh God, that clip was fucking hilarious, is worried about too many white men in construction. Yes.
There's too many white clouds too.
Yeah.
The climate is racist.
Even if it's an accident, in the words of Obama's chief of staff, Rahm Emanuel, never let a good crisis go to waste. Absolutely.
This finest moment.
Godzillionaire says, another day, another psyop. And Papa Cotton says, hey, kids. Listen, the thing is, okay, with all of this shit, definitely I think they're starting with the Ohio River. By proxy, I suppose via tributaries and the way shit's connected, you could probably get to the Missouri or Mississippi River off of that. Unless it comes here by cloud, those of us up on the shore of Lake Erie are relatively safe up here. And I'll be here for another 3 weeks. So I'm looking at that. Hail brightest day. And BD, I am moving. The house sold and I'm waiting for it to close on March 6th. I'm moving to Tennessee. But back to Pinochet's Helicopter Tour says, remember when Rahm Emanuel said he was going to get the UN to police Chicago? Yeah. But
that was hilarious.
They have unlimited resources, okay, folks. They can use their private PMC army. They can, use UN troops. They can just use whatever. The UN is globalist HQ, essentially. So they can use any resource that they want to do any of this shit. All right, so I'm not.
They're already doing it.
Yes.
So everything we're watching is already happening. Okay, and what is anyone doing?
Yeah.
Nothing.
So I'm
Funny you mentioned that.
Terminus says Pete Buttigieg won't do anything about the Ohio train derailment because he's too busy getting railed, having the train run on him, and getting his caboose backed up. Yeah, absolutely. Radioactive says, get a molecular sieve, water filters such as a Burke, Alexapure, etc. Klaus Schwab probably inappropriately touched clones of himself to fuel his own ego. Yeah.
An impression of a German guy in 3.
Honestly, if you eat the bugs, you will have no problem. But
thank you.
But what we have going on here is very simple. As I said, it's an attack on U.S. soil in the literal sense and also in the figurative sense.
In broad daylight, most of it.
Yeah, and none of this, okay, even if, let's say, I can entertain the idea, maybe it was human error, all right? But whoever made the genius decision, whether it was state, local, and federal together, whether it was state, whether it was local, to do a controlled burn off. And I understand, I saw the explanation. There was an explanation that a chemical engineer made on Twitter and said, yeah, that was pretty much the only option they had. I get that. I understand that. But it was still a hell of a roll of the dice to do that in a rural populated area. And granted, it's easy to sit there and say, oh, it's only 2,000 people. It's only 2,500 people. It's only 3,000 people. Well, when does it become wrong? Because it was still wrong no matter what. And now you have a disaster area. Let's not get it twisted. It is a disaster area down there between the air, between the water, and the entire ecosystem is fucked. And oh, by the way, people's pets are dying, fish are dying, livestock are dying. It's crazy. Hey, Ryan, man, good to see you, buddy. I haven't seen you in a while, man. Good to see you, buddy. Which is worse, the Ohio decision was malicious or pure incompetence? And I think it runs the gamut of both of those, Godzillionaire. Radioactive said it's only wrong if it impacts the globalists. That's true. Hail, Dwayne. I hope Rita is going to be coming by soon. It'd be great to see you and her both. But I'm worried about that, and I have some big news for you guys. All right, and I don't know if you've been watching my Twitter or not, but Will and I tomorrow we're going down to investigate East Palestine up close. We're going to drive down. We're going to make the one tank trip. It's about an hour and a half drive. We're going to head down there, and we're going to get some answers. I intend to go sit down and interview residents. Talk to people, find out what they think is wrong, what their stories are. Then we're going to go and we're going to stop off in one of the creeks or something, and we're going to do a water test real time. I got a water testing kit that I'm taking with us. We have full-on ventilators, like, the really good ventilators that we're taking with us. So we're going to be protected there. And then we're going to wear, gloves and probably long sleeves and what have you. So we're going to be good. But the thing that I am worried about in all of this is the long-term effects on the ecosystem, and also, what this is going to do to the surrounding states and towns on the Ohio River. Hail to tiny metal trees. And Wook, I know you think it's incredibly stupid, but listen, I'm going to go anyway, because the journalist in me, I can't turn down the story. I got to go after it.
And maybe if we have a few minutes toward the end, we can, sit in on that little community press.
Yeah, they're going to have a press.
I think it's 3 o'clock
tomorrow. We're going to see. Will and I are going to see if we can invade that bad boy.
We're going to crash a press conference tomorrow. No, all serious. We should be should be allowed in, right?
Kai, you just got here when I was just saying we're going down there tomorrow. Me and my buddy Will up there are going down tomorrow.
It's okay.
Oh man, but yeah, the interesting thing about that is, I want to see what they say at that press conference and everything else. And listen, I'm getting coached by the best. All right. I was sitting there last night, you guys. I was texting with Laura Logan, and she was coaching me up, man. She gave me all the tips that I need and everything else. She said, "You're going to be fine. You're going to knock this out of the park." And she said, "I know that you're passionate about the journalism stuff. You are going to get a good story."
And that woman has been in the shit before, so she knows.
Yeah, she knows. So she gave me all the tips and tricks that I need, and we're going to be set. So I'm excited about that, man. She stepped up big time as a mentor, and shout out to Laura Logan. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. So if you happen to watch this, thank you very much. Yes, absolutely, Radioactive, the one and only, the Laura Logan that I interviewed. Man, I'm excited for tomorrow to actually go down there. Papa Cotton says,
for the layman's out there, yes, the one from 60 Minutes.
yeah, Papa Cotton says, your eyes start burning, your skin starts burning. Get the fuck out. Yeah, I think we're gonna do that. I don't think Will and I are just gonna stand there and transform into Toxic Avenger.
I am having visions of like losing the ability to taste food. And I'm not looking forward to that, but I guess anything for a good cause.
Hail to Steven.
What's up?
Free Speech Gaming, and BD, you would be right about that. Absolutely.
How's it going, everybody? I heard you were prepping for your trip out to Chernobyl.
Ground Zero.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm surprised no one's called. I guess you can't call it that because there's only one Ground Zero, and
Yeah, we're heading.
Well,
heading down tonight or tomorrow, rather.
I feel like you should still be able to call it Ground Zero because Ground Zero is more of a generic term until 9/11.
Exactly.
That's what it's.
They say
I agree with you completely.
Yeah.
They say they were
Ground Zero is
carrying.
not Ground Zero anymore. It's actually one of the nicest spots in New York City now.
Yeah.
No
one lives here.
They say they were carrying the chemicals they could make fentanyl. So hey, we could breathe that in, man. It's just a step above cocaine, right?
Yeah.
Spending $150 million on cocaine would make sense.
Yeah, dude, get the fentanyl.
The first time I
fumes
can actually call bullshit on that because because of what we're doing tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, Stephen, we can most definitely sit there and play fun with fentanyl like it's Play-Doh.
Oh yeah, exactly. Played off 10 cops.
Oh man,
I already have a cold, so it doesn't matter.
So hey, anybody want to go road trip with us tomorrow? Janet, you want to go down with us?
If I was there, I would.
You know what?
I have a bunch of good
way,
masks.
for anyone that gets second thoughts on the way, we'll drop you off in a safer place like Youngstown or something.
Yeah, we can drop you off at
You need to take a dove in a little cage and carry it around with you like they did in some of those mine movies, That would be a good prop.
Well,
I don't think that would be the best idea for where we're going under the circumstances, though.
We could take Tobat and drop him off at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base.
Not exactly on our way, but we would definitely detour.
It'd be like, yeah, here's your alien that escaped, guys. Oh my God. Papa Cotton says, "Be safe, guys." Look, I love you, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, we will be. Trust me. We took precautions. We got as much protective shit as we could, so we're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right.
So is that one of the one of the topics for today? Because I know I'm normally more of the skeptical one here, but when you got 3 in a row, I got some questions now that I can't even speculate on.
Well, Stephen, and I talked about this on, and I was telling the audience before, I talked about this on Prism on Sunday. I'm normally the guy that is the I want to believe guy when it comes to UFOs. But with this, okay, I have to approach it from, the center of logic and reason and move on out. And the way that I see it right now, the first thing that came to my mind wasn't UFOs. First thing that came to my mind was Project Bluebeam. Because the way that all this was happening, it seemed like shiny object that you're dangling in front of a cat to distract it from something else. That's exactly what it is.
But didn't you guys hear that there was 2 other derailments too? Not just
the derailments,
one in Texas.
Yes.
Yeah, one in Texas and one in
North
South Carolina.
I believe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, and then all the balloons in South America and
the Texas one, I want to say I don't think that one had chemicals. South Carolina,
is they really think that we are all a bunch of dingbats to believe all of this stuff.
Yeah, South Carolina, I do believe did have chemicals. So
because the one in Texas, wasn't it a truck colliding with the train?
It was.
But you don't know who was in the truck and why you rammed the train. So
yeah,
I'm just saying, until we get all the facts, It's just too much to be a coincidence.
Well,
I can think of worse ways to commit suicide. I know that much.
Well, listen, you guys, it feels like I said earlier, like it's a coordinated attack on the United States soil, on the infrastructure. You know, it's like they weren't content with the pace that it was going at, so they said, well, we're just going to turn the entire thing on its head and just attack.
Mhm.
And you know, and listen, Papa Cotton isn't exactly wrong about this. That's because the majority of Americans are dumb as shit. Yeah, and they are. Their attention is easily swayed because they've been psyoped to death, or some are just so weak-minded they get stuck in that loop of tribalism and bullshit. So they're either stuck on the race thing, they're stuck on the Democrat versus Republican.
Unfortunately,
thing.
I think it's the latter.
You know, they're stuck on they're stuck on the non-trans thing. You know, I mean, you pick your flavor of you know, division, and they're stuck on that. You know, the weak-minded people are. And then the ones that might be a little step above them get distracted with the ooh and I UFO type shit. They're psyoped, and they're still under the influence of that program. You know, and again, I'm thankful for the audience that we have, because you guys possess discernment. You guys show pretty good discernment in picking through the bullshit. You guys have good bullshit filters, and I'm proud of you for that. You know, but yeah, Stephen, I think it's a blue beam thing. Go ahead, wax poetic. What you think it is, brother?
Oh, talking about the derailments or the
UFOs?
Oh, the UFOs. I'm not even sure. It really feels like a distraction for the horrible mess they made with the train. That's honestly what I think it is. And now I don't know with aliens. I have my doubts with them, the idea as a whole. But I mean, there's definitely weird shit that our government does that they don't want us to know about, and it seems to typically line up when shit like this happens. There's stuff they're doing they don't want us to know about, and I think it might be a combination of not just the horrible response with what they did in Ohio with burning the chemicals and actually lighting them up before properly knowing what was in there, and all of the harm that's going to come from them doing their controlled burn, as they're calling it, along with what Pinochet just put up in the chat, talking about how we're paying attention to the balloons while classified information just came out about President Sniffy up there in Washington taking money from them and having his son go out and work for all of these different Chinese energy companies and essentially taking bribes from a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, there is that too. That's a hell of a point, and leave it to Tony. Tony's good with that shit. But again, like I said, props to you guys, because we got people that have discernment. And I love that. Hail to Tina Bojan. What's going on there, Tina? Great to see you. And, thank you for that, Miss Janet. So, Janet, what do you think with the UFOs, first of all? You're muted, Janet.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I wanted to believe, just like you, that that they were going to finally let some of the stuff leak out, basically about, visitors from other worlds coming here. But I think all these balloons and all this other stuff is all from our government.
Yep.
So
I think there's some from China too.
Well,
China.
Our president's pretty much been over and grabbing his ankles with China. So anything that happens with him is happening from China. So they're like the same person. They're like Popsicle Biden. So China Sickle Biden, or whatever you want to call him. But yeah. I don't know what it's for yet, though. I really think it's a whole thing is set up to do something later on us and have the balloons carrying something.
Well, there's a bunch of neocons right now, on both sides, just sitting there like salivating. They're waiting for World War III. They're sitting there like
yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean they're waiting for it.
Oh yeah, they're waiting.
But I have to laugh because look, the last report we got, what was the one above the Lake Huron, wasn't it, Stephen, where the F-16 shot down a fucking one over Lake Huron, and I'm just like, oh shit, it's Iron Eagle, man. Doug Masters was flying that fucker,
Yeah, I'm all I know is like we were shooting shit down in Canada, and I know somebody straight up asked what's her name, Karine Jean-Pierre, like, why are we taking care of Canada's shit? Like,
because we deployed it, and they said, you take it out or we're going to spill the beans, something like that. But what's so stupid is, why risk shooting a missile when you could have used a laser? I mean, all of it is just blatantly obvious that they're trying to get us to look at it for a reason, because there's something else in the background going on that they don't want us to look at. So to me, I don't know how any more obvious this could be. It's just like when a kid's going, you take your toddler to get its shots, and you're going, look at this toy right here, and you're playing with it, and it's looking at it, and you jab him in the leg, because something is going on behind our back right now as we speak, with all this bullshit going on in front of us.
So
and we're going to find out, because we're all going to be bent over grabbing our ankles here if we don't figure this out really quickly.
Hail, Tommy. Great to see you, buddy.
I'm so happy.
Tommy's here.
I just had a thought about what, just a potential theory on this. So I've heard a lot of things over the years about Area 51 and certain technologies that they work on there, and whether or not it has anything to do with aliens. I'm really on the fence about that, but I have heard that it's essentially just an experimental technology testing ground is what it really is. And I've heard stories for years now about anti-grav technology being used there. So this could very well just be something they were experimenting with that got out of control. Now, how it would have made it from Nevada to Canada, don't know. Not sure there. Could have been part of the experiment being out of control, but
I remember my dad telling me he was jungle survival for 33 or 34 years in the Air Force. And he told me years ago that they had technology back when they were doing, I think it was Korea, or I don't think it was Vietnam. I think it was a Korean excursion or whatever they call it. And he said at that time they had satellites that could look down and look at your license plate on your car. So if they could do that back then, I don't have a clue what they can do now. I mean, they can pretty much hear everything you're having a discussion in your house, how many people are in your home, and what they're talking about, if they want to, from a satellite. I would pretty much guarantee that 90% that they have that technology. So there was no reason for my dad to tell me that and it not be true. I mean, he has trunks full of maps that are made out of silk. Okay, I don't know if you guys know anything about that, but all over the world, he's collected them. And my mom we had made shirts for him out of them, but he took them. I'm sure he wasn't supposed to, but he brought them home with him when he retired. And they're beautiful. They're huge though, but they're silk, and you can wash them and everything. And there's a beautiful map on it of different places all over the world. So I'm just saying, I just think that they're just, they could do anything they want, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Yep. Tesla described electropulsion effects back in the 1890s. Absolutely. And we know what happened with Tesla's research. The Pinochet's helicopter tour says they are poisoning the environment to justify what I would call the culling of people. Yes. Notice how the Arizona rancher was charged with first-degree murder, and not even Kyle Rittenhouse was charged.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. Absolutely. Terminus S says, it's so sad that we are depending on our enemy China for much of our goods. They could easily embargo us, and we'd be in a whole lot of trouble. Well, Terminus, that goes back, you can thank the Clinton administration for that. They opened that box. That was NAFTA and all that garbage. Papa Cotton says, and they'd be covered by the Patriot Act to do it. Yes. It's spying on American citizens is completely legal under the Patriot Act. Yeah.
Bush too.
Dude, yeah, exactly. And
They're still doing it.
And Papa Cotton, don't forget. All right, remember when I talked about NSPD 51? You got that in the toolbox too. So they can federalize anything at any moment. And oh, by the way, thank you again, Mr. Bush, for that one. You know, it's simply crazy. And I mean, you know, I promise you, we're not giving you a bunch of lies here.
I don't want to hear any more of these lies about reckless spending. We're changing people's lives.
Well, I believe that Area 51 could be the place that they've been testing Tesla's stuff all this time. And that's why so many people that work there that have quit working there later on spilled the beans saying that they were testing on certain things where things could float or, you know, just all kinds of weird phenomenon that they never seen before. So, I mean, I'm just saying, I don't trust any of them.
Tony
my daddy.
Tony says they have Project Pegasus, Janet, and what Snowden worked on with the NSA. Project Veritas New York lawsuit proved Google, Apple, and Microsoft just let the feds in without warrants. It won't be using satellites. You know, Tommy says Area 51 is old hat. They have a new designation in Colorado now. Angela Draven says, hey, what's up, Draven? What's going on? By the way, guys, if you want to help, you know, you can do the ! Tip command. You know, that will help out in the interim, considering, you know, yours truly needs groceries and some other things in the very short term. And also it'll help to finish up the last of the moving process, which you can also help out with by going to the givesendgo.com/Taylor Home Project. We have, believe we have like $800-900 to go to hit the goal, and really want to try to get there. But yeah, you know, feel free to help out or just share that out, and that will be a help in itself. And other than that, what I was going to tell you was, guess who just made a statement? Our favorite friend. And I will go ahead and share this. This is Mr. Klaus Schwab's latest statement. Let's see what good old Uncle Klaus has to say.
I'm sure he won't come off sounding like a Bond villain or...
No, really?
Overpopulation, not a topic.
Yeah.
We move into the exponential phase. And I agree. Artificial intelligence, but not only artificial intelligence, but also the metaverse, new space technologies, go on and on, biology. Our life in 10 years from now will be completely different, very much affected, and who masters those technologies in some way will be the master of the world. And we are
Why is there just a
now
random
where
Arab
we move
up
into
there?
the exponential phase.
What the hell is up with that?
And I agree.
I mean, must be some
Artificial
kind of a
intelligence, but not only artificial
where it is,
intelligence,
because they have it in two
but
languages
also
there, and some
the
kind of
metaverse.
Arabic language. I can't tell.
new space technologies. And I
Did you
could
say
go on and
metaverse?
on.
No.
Yeah.
Synthetic biology. Our life in 10 years from now will be completely different, very much affected, and
Pay
who
attention to the
masters
phrase here.
those technologies in some way will be the master of the world.
Is it Arabic?
Well,
Did you
So,
say
Get ready
master
for
race? I couldn't understand.
so what he's saying is, basically that last statement is what I want to get into. He that masters of technologies will be master of the world.
Oh.
Yeah, get ready for President Zuckerberg, is what he's saying.
Yeah. I mean, that did look funny, man. Just the way that
that was creepy, man.
That one just random Arab just sitting there. Angela Straven said it looked like a Saudi. Yeah, it does look like a Saudi. Radioactive said, how many people are in the room? Just Klaus and the Saudi. But, Tehillim, yeah, he does. Symbolism much? I mean, my goodness, the hand motions were just on point. But, this is just, it's crazy. How has no one memed this dude in the SS uniform yet? Death head and all. Well, he's direct bloodline, bro. He's direct Nazi bloodline. His old man was involved. Grandfather was involved. He's part of it.
You just answered the question, though. I mean, like, that's why we don't do it, because if we were to do that, it would be a humorous satire, whereas with him it would be borderline literal. So
yeah, it really is. It's just, I'm sick of this fucker. I am. Look, I don't have the patience for this shit anymore. I mean, I'm done with the psyops. I'm done with the bullshit. I want to go after these fucks and take them down. All right? And that's why I understand, it's a piece of the puzzle, but that's why we're making the trip down tomorrow to get answers. I'm done with cover-ups too. And we're going to fucking go down and do our best to get some damn answers.
Kidnap Klaus Schwab and leave him in the fucking Ohio River.
Here, Klaus, I got something for you to smoke. Stand right there and inhale deeply. Don't worry, they said it's safe.
Just take him a bottle of water.
God.
This water is yellow. Just drink it anyway. It's okay.
It's not snow.
I think even if you filtered it to, to look clear, that it's probably loaded with stuff.
It's Adolf Hitler's piss. Just drink it.
Small Time Republic says, who died and made Klaus Schwab the world dictator? Well, he took that mantle.
Hitler did, I believe. Am I wrong?
Yeah. The Nazis won. It's called the UN now. Yeah, Papa Cotton, you're not wrong. And that's the thing. As I said, the UN is globalist HQ. That they're just as much the center of this as everything else. And then you have your public face, which is WEF, and you got the WHO, which Terminus makes the accurate point. That's as much of a concern as WEF. And then you go on down the list, Council of Foreign Relations and the Council of 13 and all these fucking little tentacles that they have. They have hundreds of them. The shit is like Cobra or Hydra, same thing.
Wait, the Council of 13, like in Venbros?
Supposedly the Council of 13 is the 13 original families, 13 bloodlines, and then there's 12 of them there, and then the 13th share belongs to Lord Satan.
Ah, okay.
That's the Council of 13.
I see.
And with all this that's going on, and then you have the earthquakes, and then we have our president wanting to sell more of our oil reserves. I mean, how are we going to make it until Election Day?
Well,
what's going to be left? What is going to be left?
Well, they want to destabilize as much as possible till Election Day. I mean, it's crazy. Glinzer says
she was announced her candidacy today.
Yeah, and that moved the needle about fucking none, dude, because nobody cares.
The point is she's the first, and she's the first of many. But you got to start somewhere.
Glinzer says world dictator is more appropriate for him. Hail, Glinzer, great to see you, buddy. Phil TMNT is here. Great to see you, Phil. Love seeing you in the chat all the time, bud. Thank you. We've got a nice meme that.
There you go. There you go, Tony. That's it doesn't have the death's head proper, but yeah, it's got you got the Iron Cross there. You got, a nice rainbow armband. I think it works.
I love the mustache.
Yeah.
I love the
Oh,
mustache.
that's funny.
I think the mustache is even more fantastic with the bald head.
Yeah, Tony, I think you're spot on with that. The Council of Foreign Relations will be gone because they are hard pushing for the UN/WHO global pandemic treaty that leads to one world government. Look into the global pandemic treaty. Yeah, I've been keeping up on it. I know exactly what that is, and yeah, you're right. But yeah, that's a perfect representation of Klaus.
Yes.
Yeah, and oh, by the way, just to change the subject for a minute for some levity, as you guys know, I am moving to Tennessee, and we're waiting on the house to close. That's going to happen on March 6th, but today, obviously with the stage where things are at, there's trash that gets left on the curb and whatnot because we're clearing stuff out of the house. Well, some Karen, okay, on
That's
my
what
street,
I said, yeah.
One of my neighbors decided they didn't like the trash pile. And oh, by the way, it's on my curb lawn, not theirs. It's on my curb lawn. But they complained, and the city sent me this, that, basically, if I don't remove it within 48 hours, I have to pay a fine and also a $300 fee to the city. And, I just want to say, look, to whoever is the Karen that decided to do that, fuck you. And I know you're not watching this, but I just wanted to vent some steam for a second. Whichever one of you did that that lives on my street, fuck you.
Always
for all we know, it may have actually been just some woman who doesn't even live in your neighborhood that crossed Levitt Road with her walking her dog. I mean, it was a nice day out, so
yeah. Radioactive tomorrow is actually my regularly scheduled trash pickup. So the bulk guys, I actually called my trash pickup company, and the bulk people are going to pick up the whole pile tomorrow. But it's just, it's not even that big of a pile when you get down to it. There's just some things in there, nightstands, like end tables, shit like that. And, people just bitching to bitch because, there happens to be like 10 bags out there. Oh my God. So,
where do they think people are supposed to keep it until the trash people come?
Well, yeah, I was supposed to put it on the curb, and Ryan
would have filmed it and tweeted it out.
Ryan, thank you for that. And yeah, Keely, you're absolutely right. And Big John's right about this. Hillary the other day called for the elimination of cash. Yes, absolutely. Radioactive. I'm not going to have to worry about that. The bulk people grab it tomorrow, which they should tomorrow morning.
My mother's name was Karen, and she was not a Karen.
Tony says
but when they are, they really are. If it's a Karen, that's a Karen. Oof.
Yeah. Tony says, remember, the U.S. Constitution is a problem for the UN and governments around the world. They all hate it. We need to be on the lookout for what our government would use to justify suspending it.
I mean, they're taking it piece by piece already.
Yeah, absolutely. Keely Chow says, fuck you, Drew's neighbor who's a Karen. Yeah, exactly, brother.
Hi, girl. I'm the one who called that.
Jesus Christ.
How do you like this, Karen?
Oh my God! Never again!
That image will
never
go
go
for the
back.
rest of my natural life.
God, I'm gonna be sleeping nicely, and that's the face that's gonna pop up in front of my eyes. And
You're gonna be sleeping.
Wake up
you.
sweating.
Yeah, I can. God, I'll never be able to like rub one out again in my life. All right.
I've been dying to put her on screen.
Yeah, congrats. Now with this contract 12 hours. Yeah, sorry, brother. Tommy says, I would have dumped it in their yards when they were. Tommy, I know what you'd have done.
Hey, man, if we had an address.
Yeah.
See, I don't report my neighbors. I just yell at them. That's what I do.
Well,
Like, I
yeah,
got
I
neighbors
mean-
whose dogs bark constantly, like 2 a.m. the dog's barking. I just go out there and tell them to shut the fucking dog up.
Plot twist, it was Will who reported through.
I trusted you, Will.
Don't quit your day
You
job,
were my
man.
brother.
Oh, man. Oh, God, dude.
But that's what this whole thing in the last couple of years with your with the whole COVID thing and the COVID cards and blah blah blah, it's to program people into turning their neighbors in. If they don't get the jab, or if they don't do this, if they don't do that, if they don't comply, we got to get rid of them, put them in COVID camps,
Well, now that woman knows
and
that
it's
Drew didn't
pitiful,
get the
but
jab, she'll
that's
probably be back
exactly
tomorrow.
what this is what we're getting. We're going to get more and more and more of this. Where do you think we're going to be
Now,
in
well,
another
now
year
that
and a
that
half?
woman knows that Drew didn't get the jab, she'll be back tomorrow complaining about something else.
Big John says I'm going to have you gave all the poor men in the chat shrinkage, Janet. Jesus.
I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to scare people, but when you talked about her, I was like, well, like it's my chance to use this one. I found her. I think she's really ugly and funny.
Rider BB gun, says Tommy. The Time Prophet says I've never talked to my neighbors ever. Klopacott says, yeah, they're the same type of people who turned in hiding chiefs to Gestapo. Yeah, they are, man. These my neighbors actually. Most of the neighbors I had when I was growing up on the street were actually cool people. There's been a lot of turnover on the street, obviously, as we moved over the years with people coming and going. But the newer neighbors, yeah, a lot of them do suck. Not gonna lie.
But just think about it. You only need one on every street. That's all you need. You don't need everyone. You just need one person that's going to make a phone call or an email or a text that says, guess what?
Yeah. The person who moves into your house is a Karen. I really do.
Well, sharing relevant stuff. This tweet from a gentleman named Bobby Blastoff. I don't follow this guy, so I don't know him. But what I will say is the tweet makes sense. He put some pictures up here. He said, this is more than Ohio. I'm across Lake Erie in southern Ontario, Canada by Niagara Falls, and me and my family have had nonstop headaches for about 7 days straight now. We can literally smell the chlorine over here in Canada. This is bigger than they are telling us. And, he includes these photos of, I guess, what would be the cloud from different angles above.
It looks like a hurricane, like the eye of a hurricane.
It really does. But, that's the thing, man. This thing is huge. And the ensuing cover-up is just it sucks because
and also you have to remember all the environment. I mean, all the animals that are affected, and the ones that are affected in spring is coming. What are their babies going to be like if they even produce babies? The fish, and then you have all the snakes and frogs, and then you have all the hawks and birds that eat the frogs and the snakes and stuff. I'm telling you, it's going to go way farther than just Ohio, because birds and other animals travel out of the state.
Not only that,
cloud
and they shit.
Well, not only that, but think about all of the food that comes from that area. I mean, the entirety of the Midwest, and they're saying this is right now affecting like a 200-mile radius area. There's got to be farms not far from there. I mean, for everything I've seen of the Midwest, I mean, it's not all farms, but there's farms in play, outside of the cities. That's most places, honestly, that I've been to, at least, even on the East Coast.
But also, water going through, that's flowing down the rivers is going into these little tiny little creeks, that spreads out that animals are drinking. And then you also have the evaporation in the rain. Where do we know that's going? What kind of acid rain is that going to make? And where is it going to fall? We just have no idea how bad this is going to be until we start seeing, dead frogs, 10 states away from a rain cloud that carried it that far. I don't know. It's just, it scares me. I mean, it's I'm just worried about stuff like this. I just don't know what we're going to do about it.
I make flashbacks to years ago when those the birds were just in Asia, where birds were just falling out of the sky.
I think this is going to make a bunch of gay frogs. That's what's going to happen here. It's a lot of gay frogs.
And that means they won't be procreating, and you won't have any tadpoles for the fish and the other birds to eat. And then, everybody starts dying off because there's nothing to eat.
See, this is how they're doing it, people. I told you about it years ago. Now they're releasing it. This is widespread. This is a mass attack. They're turning all the damn frogs gay.
Well, I'll repopulate the earth with my tadpoles.
Yeah, that could be dangerous.
Yeah. I'll create a new race of giants, man.
Yeah, they'll be clogging up the rivers.
I think the government just got another idea.
Yeah, just lay Drew's member across the river. It'll dam it up real quick.
Just imagine the beavers' dams. That'd be terrible.
Well, I always imagine beaver, but
Okay, Janet. I know it's unconscious, but you got to stop setting them up.
I know. I didn't mean to. I guess dirty minds think alike.
Yeah, that's all right, Janet.
I mean,
one of these days, I'm gonna wipe you up. Shit. But
how about that? Your Klaus Schwab is better than your Jackie Gleason. Who would have known?
Oh man, all of this. There's a weird confluence of shit happening right now. Between all of this stuff. And the biggest thing that, I urge for everybody is have some fucking discernment, please. See through the bullshit. Most of you guys, as I said in the chat, I'm proud of you because everybody's got a good bullshit detector in this chat. And I like that because we can see through it. But what fucking sucks is the fact we see through it, but we got all these assholes dragging us down that are easily distracted like fucking kittens chasing a laser pointer. I mean, it's so dumb. And that's the thing, man. I hope these people wake the fuck up. Because I know one thing about us, we're ready. So if shit hits the fan, then it's like action stations time, we're gonna be ready.
Will there be enough of us?
I'm scared about that, Will.
And that's an open-ended rhetorical question.
I'm scared about that. I really am scared about that because I'm not positive there will be.
I think there will be because the ones that think like us didn't do certain things to their body and will be around.
No, and listen, most of us are purebloods that are here. Unless we actually got held down by our jobs and basically forced, most of us are purebloods that are here having this conversation right now. But man, I don't know in the long run if there's enough awake fucking people to carry out a lot of the stuff that we need to mount a good opposition. And that's what worries me.
I need to start wearing my Slytherin scarf when I'm on here so I can proudly display my pure blood and pure blood supremacy.
I have a scarf. I can't remember which one I was in. It wasn't Slytherin.
You're all just gonna have to take my word for it.
It's something dwarf. Which one's the dwarf one?
Gryffindor.
Gryffindor. That's me.
Okay, yeah. I was say you're either
Burberry? No,
Gryffindor or
that's not it.
maybe a Ravenclaw, but I'm going with Gryffindor.
No,
That's
I'm
off top.
Gryffindor. I wore the little hat and
Yeah.
everything. It was fun.
Oh yeah.
Tobat says, I told my job no to the jab. Time Prophet said, if I was told to take the jab by my job, that would not be my job anymore.
Well,
The
I missed
Time
out on a
Prophet
lot of
said-
work because I didn't get it.
The
I
Time
didn't
Prophet
understand.
says, if we are purebloods, the rest are muggles.
Yep. Filthy mudbloods.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's that?
No, I don't know. I just know this. There is shit coming, and I'm ready. I'm ready for the fucking revolution. I'm ready for the resistance. I'm ready to make that stand. We got to make that final stand for humanity. The old speech from First Contact. The line must be drawn here. This far, no further. Yep,
Mhm.
that's true.
It's scary. That's all I know.
I'll say there's a lot of stuff lining up right now that shows massive government takeover of food distribution and agriculture in general. I think that if there is a conspiracy behind these train derailments, it has to do with that. I mean, we're up to what, like
Yes.
90 something
Well,
distribution plants
you
burning down mysteriously.
You know what this is about. This is the old, create the crisis and then present the solution. And then profit on both sides.
It's way too common for them to do
We
it.
made the disease.
I talked to someone today on accident. Okay, I went to a school and I interacted with some other parents, and I was talking to one of them, and she knew I had chickens, and she asked me if my chickens went months and months without laying eggs, and I said no, my chickens have laid eggs the whole time. And I asked her, what did you do? I said, I know they don't lay eggs where they're molting, but all my chickens don't molt at the same time because they're all different ages. And that's why you want a flock that's of, months and months between age groups. That way you can have a steady flow of eggs, right? But she said, no, her chickens went months, 3, almost 4 months without laying any eggs. And I was like, well, what did you do with them? And what was going on? And she said that they had a couple hawks that they'd noticed. So they locked them up, and all they were getting was feed from the store. So next thing she knew, she said none of them were laying. And I'm like, I think that's a setup for the feed companies to help make it harder and harder for us to have eggs, and to make the price of chicken go up, and whatever else, for whatever the reasons are. Because you got to remember, where do eggs come from? The chickens are all housed mostly in big giant, buildings that they grow them in, and that's where they lay. That's where they spend their whole lives. And if they never go outside to get other food besides the feed, they're not going to lay as much, if that's what it's done. Because mine free range, and I give them leftovers. People bring me bread or whatever that they got from the McDonald's or wherever, and that's what they get. They're outside, they forage, and they get snacks. And I do buy grain though, but I buy scratch. I don't buy feed. Okay, I buy scratch. So, and mine always laid. So to me, that's very interesting for me to see it with my own eyes and hear it from people around me, that they had chickens, their own chickens that they had in their yard that didn't lay either.
Yeah.
And what they did differently. So to me, that goes along with all of the other things where we're having shortages of all kinds of things, and the government saying, oh, we don't want you to have gardens. We don't want this because of this bad plant, or the seeds are bad, or whatever. All these different things going on. Just like you just said, the government wants complete control over what you are eating and what you're able to get. They don't want you to grow it at home. They don't want you to have your own chickens. They don't want you to take care of yourself. They want you to be completely reliant on them.
Hungry
Right.
people become compliant very quickly.
That's right, and they know that. Kai says, check the nutritional needs. For
That's where I do
chickens.
this. Sorry.
Make sure you're
makes me
giving.
mad.
Make sure you're giving chickens proper nutrition for them to lay eggs. Absolutely.
I mean, if they're foraging,
and
they're
not their
they've gotta be
food.
getting proper
Not
nutrition.
the government's food.
Wait until the chickens come home.
To roost.
Radioactive says nitric acid spill is what the fake stream media is calling the I-10 spill. TZ Burton, hail to you, TZ Burton. TZ Burton says, take me to your leader. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if aliens are out there, are they even going to be interested in our planet unless they can take us for resources? Like, they're going to stop by. If they're coming peacefully, like it's Vulcans or some shit, and they're coming by peacefully and they're trying to, create a union between us and them, they're going to take one look at our planet and go, these people are a bunch of fucking backwoods crazy nuts.
They'll
Like,
say,
we're not
well, we'll
going
come
here."
back. We'll come back in 50 years after they've destroyed themselves and take their planet.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to say when they look down here and say,
We don't
wow,
breathe
these people are
oxygen. We don't breathe
dumbasses.
oxygen. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
Kai says, someone switched their chickens to non-chicken feed and they started laying eggs again instantly.
Heard about that too, switching to goat feed.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
That's
it's
the thing. See, I don't use chicken crumble or anything like that. I use scratch, and it's just corn, cracked corn and things like that. It gets them to scratch it on the ground, and I also take their shells and I bake them in the oven for 20 minutes, and then I crush them up and make like a really fine powder, and I mix it in with the scratch too. So they're getting plenty of calcium and stuff from the eggshells. So I put a little extra effort in it, but I've not had any of the problems that other people seem to be having because they were relying and believing that they could just go down the street and buy whatever food that's offered at Walmart or any of these other corporations that are in the government's back pocket.
Whole Foods.
Oh, God. Are the aliens going to cut our taxes, reduce the size of government, get rid of the WEF, UN, and Davos, etc.? That'd be nice.
welcome our
if
new
that-
overlords. Yeah,
I would.
I'd be
If I
happy
could
with
control
that.
it, I would
will
definitely
stuff
do
the
all
ballot
those
box.
things.
Absolutely.
right.
TZ Burton says the Intergalactic Highway Commission is here to demolish the planet.
You were warned of this. You now have 5 minutes to leave.
Yeah.
Doubts, Ron. We are your friends.
Godzillionaire said, no. Aliens are here to warn us about climate change. Wink, wink.
Mm.
I mean, it's just fucking ridiculous. It really is.
Partisan aliens. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
nothing
if anybody, again, if anybody
Really,
wants,
Janet from another planet.
if anybody
In
wants,
my
to-
alien
Janet doesn't seem to
form.
have a planet. She's floating
Oh,
around out
Jesus.
there. Like,
if anybody wants to help out the channel, again, you can do so at paypal.me/Supreme Heretic, or you could do the givesatgo.com/Taylor Home Project. We only have $900 to go. If you could help with that or share it, that would be greatly appreciated. And let's see. Kai says the eggs is because the biggest egg producer was purchased by a company in cahoots with Purina. Provides almost all chicken feed. Once warehouses for more free-range chickens were ready, no more eggs. So thank you, Kai, by the way. So yeah, very interesting stuff, man. Very crazy stuff. I'm hoping that we could turn the corner on this, and I still believe that we can. But it's going to take a little bit.
I don't know. I'm not quitting. I just know that they're gonna have to peel my dead fingers off of my rifle when they come to take me.
Well,
After this time.
I don't think
they'll just launch you into outer space.
I don't think a lot of us are quitting. We're not quitting. I mean, shit. Look what me and Will are doing tomorrow, and look what you're doing. Look what Steven's doing. We're not quitting. And a lot of you in the chat are doing the same. Your guys are trying to get the word out, and I appreciate that. And I'm working behind the scenes. I'm working with some great journalists. I'm working with that lady Tori that helped, Millie Weaver do the Shadowgate documentary, among others. I'm also still talking with Laura Logan. I'm still talking with some of the other journalists I had on. I'm still talking with Chase Geyser. So, a lot of good contacts out there. And we're going to continue to fight every Wednesday, every Tuesday on this channel to third time's the charm. So
it's Wednesday somewhere.
Yeah, it's Wednesday somewhere.
China,
but
in fact,
China.
Look, they tell me in China they have UFOs all the time. They're just constantly putting this horrible hydrogen hydroxychloroquine right up into the air in China.
He wouldn't be able to say
You're
that.
Getting
word.
good at that.
Yeah, look at
he would
you,
never be able to say
Steven.
that.
Yeah,
word.
he's getting good.
Well, I said it wrong, Will. That's
Huh?
Yeah,
Because it sounded like
I don't know.
that sounded like Trump, and then the other one before sounded like the guy that was on Geeks and Gamers that one night. They took his show away and they've made him pay a bunch of money. He's a real big. It's got a big channel, InfoWars. What's his name?
Oh, Alex Jones.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah,
sound
Alex
like.
Jones,
Is that
yeah.
who you were?
Let's
It
turn
sounded
the freaking
like
frogs gay. Yeah, I was going for Alex Jones.
Yeah,
I'll be
Alex
honest, I
Jones
didn't
and
pick up on
Trump.
that.
I
I
could
should've.
tell the difference. I thought you did
That was
great.
really good.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Yep, there's friggin' pot-bellied goblins underneath the rocks.
It's
Okay,
good.
Drew. Now you do Kanye. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Yeah.
listen, it's sometimes truth is stranger than fiction, and right now we are approaching one of those great lines in reality. That's just where things are at. But again, just pray for discernment, because as you guys understand, part of this is a spiritual war. So whether you're a person of faith or not, doesn't hurt to pray and ask for discernment. So.
And plus, you have to think about this. Every time they put this stuff out, with the balloons and the it just seems like there's more and more stuff coming out every day that's just ridiculous. Okay, with the actors, with the halftime show yesterday, or the day before yesterday, whenever that was, just all this stuff, and then people get desensitized from it. So when the bad stuff really does start to happen, that's going to affect you tomorrow, where you're going to have to pick or choose where you're going to live or die. People aren't going to react because there's so much and they're so bombarded. They're not going to believe anything. And that's the problem. So we have to be able to pay attention and start looking at it deeper to be ready for when it really is something that we cannot get past. So we just have to keep our eyes open and make sure we keep doing what we're doing, because that's what's going to happen. They're doing this to bombard us so that we just go, oh, well, we saw that yesterday. It's no big deal. And that's what's going to happen. And it is going to be a big deal.
Hail, TZ Burton. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. That's going to be a huge help in me getting moved out the rest of the way out of here. I got to get that stupid garbage pile moved. I got that last debris to get out of here, and then hopefully sell off some of this stuff, and the rest of it we're going to take to storage, and that's going to be that. And then I'm going to wrap up my affairs here, and hopefully by about mid-March, by March 15th at the very latest, I'll be down and settled at somewhere in Tennessee, whether I have a house, whether I have an apartment. But that is the plan. So thank you very much, you guys, for sharing that. And all of you guys that have been supporting me, watching the channel from when, even before when Mom was still alive, the past 2-3 years, and all the way from that till now. I mean, what a journey that we've been on, and you think about it. I mean, obviously it affects me because I see it, real time. But you guys have kind of been in it with me by proxy and seeing it from afar. And, yeah, I ain't afraid to say it's come a long way. Going from at different times thinking I was going to lose the place to actually getting it on the market, getting it sold. I mean, it was a feat. It really was a feat. And I'm so thankful and happy that you guys got to, go and be on that journey with me this whole time, man. It's been awesome. And I love the fact that you guys are my viewers. I do. It's the best audience, the best chat on YouTube. I always say that, but I mean that from the bottom of my heart. All right, let's go around the panel. I'm going to let everybody talk about what they got going on. It's closing in on 8:15. I know that some people got to go and eat. Some people got stuff they got to do. And I got to think about in about 3-4 hours, after I eat, getting some shut-eye so I can be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed tomorrow. So, all right, let's go with the wonderful Janet from Another Planet.
Well, thank you, Drew, for having me tonight. And I've been working on my computer. I've had a couple problems with my sound for some reason. It seems like every time I do any updates, I have all kinds of problems, and I'm not very good at it yet. And then I'm trying to fix it to where I can have a guest on my own show. I'm working on that. I really am. And on Monday nights, I have movie reviews with Bruce Lombardi of Dick's Division, and we did the Warriors. And next week we'll be doing Riddick, which will be my choice, and I'm real excited about it. And then you'll see me here again next Tuesday if we do the show. And I'm going to try to start getting back into the swing of reading some more of my book.
Yeah, Janet, your stuff, I think when you start doing more solo live streams, I think you're going to do well with it. You're just right now using a software not a lot of us use. So, as you pick it up
too, because I paid for it. So,
as you pick it up,
I got to learn.
As you pick it up, you're going to get better, and we're all going to support you because we absolutely love you to death.
I appreciate all of you guys, and I try so hard to make sure I comment on everything that someone posts on my pages or sends me messages. I try to reply to everything because it just means a lot to me that other people actually like me. I mean, I'm thankful.
Yeah, and we'll go over to Mr. Freeze Peach Gaming.
Yeah, you guys know where to find me. Second channel is Blast from the Past Reviews. We just did on Friday The Exorcist. Took a couple extra weeks for us to actually get it out. And the next one's going to have a bit of a delay as well. So this Friday, we're just going to be chatting. And then the next Friday after that, I'll probably be playing a game or something on live. I don't know. I'll do something for you guys. And then Friday nights after that show, at the Friday night after party at Ord's World, you can find us playing some Mario Kart. And then Sunday, same channel for the Sunday morning podcast, where we get high and just talk about stuff. There's never a plan with that show. Like, Ords will come in like, oh, this is what we're talking about today. And then that goes completely off the rails. And we wind up talking about that time someone slipped on a banana peel and found out that they actually are as slippery as they are in cartoons. Yeah, that's about all I got going on. You guys know where to find me out there. Hope everybody has a great rest of their week. And this was a good start off for you, just to be concerned about, literally the world on fire.
Yeah, what's funny, Stephen, with all of this, we say what we're going to have coming up and what we're going to have going on, but fuck, man, if the world's still here next week, we'll all be doing the shit we're doing.
Yep.
All right, we go over to Will the Fed.
Yeah. Will the Fed. Allow me to bring it home. I'll keep this brief. First of all, Drew, in response to what you said before the outros, it has been the ultimate pleasure. And with the confluence of everything that's going on right now, this show is, I know on a personal level, I need this show to even begin to make sense of it all. And thank God it's here, and thank God for you, and thank God for everyone, whether it be the panel or the chat. As far as tomorrow, all I know is that in terms of doing it for the right cause, I am more than willing to come home with a third arm growing out of my torso. If that's what it comes to. Out.
Yeah, that's right, man. Tomorrow is going to be epic, dude. And for us, to sit there and actually, like, guys, I guess if we were talking from a sports standpoint, just being able to like text back and forth and have Laura Logan on speed dial and like be able to like pick her brain about journalistic stuff, about how to go about going into a zone of conflict or, a very tense situation to try to go fact finding and investigating. I mean, she is beyond reproach when it comes to her being a mentor. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that she took the time to even get back to me, much less give me a whole game plan as to, how to go about this. Because she knows it's my second major field work that I've ever done. Because you guys know, J6 was my first. So this is my second big one ever. And this might be bigger than J6 when it's all said and done. So,
but not as big as the trouser snake. Beware the Drew.
Well, you know what, Stephen? I'm almost thinking of, honestly, the way Will and I might do this. We might do this in, and just take footage the whole way down. So we just have perhaps we may do this as a documentary. So if you guys want us to do that, we'll take the extra footage required. And we may just do this, get it produced, and get it put out as a documentary.
Well, you'll be doing the filming, see, as I'll be the one driving.
So we'll figure that out. And,
I'll tell you what, you film on the way down, and I'll film when we get there. How about that?
Yeah, however you want to do it, brother. But yeah, so guys, please again pray for us, pray for our safety, because we are going into a toxic situation, not to be funny, but I mean a literal toxic situation. So just please pray for our well-being and that everything goes off without a hitch. I'm pretty sure it will, but just pray for us on the trip down there. And hail Janisa Chaos, great to see you. You got here just as we were wrapping up, but thank you for always supporting the channel. Thank you for always supporting me. And you know that I love you to death. Thank you. Oh, and happy Valentine's Day. And thank you guys again. And please do keep us in your prayers, because tomorrow is going to be big. But until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. We will see you guys probably Sunday for Midnight Prism, because at the rate UFOs keep popping up, God, I could talk about UFOs till the end of time. I have enough material on Midnight Prism to last 2 months. So, we will see you Sunday for Prism, and we will see you next Tuesday, which, by the way, next Tuesday's episode of United Resistance is also going to be the birthday stream, and we are going to celebrate me turning old, aka 49 years old. So I will see you guys next week for the birthday stream / United Resistance. And until then, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Love you, lates.
Bye.
You gotta.
sorry. Yeah, hi, Coast Casino.
Hey, welcome to Sporking News Podcast. My name is Scott.
I'm E. Temple Queen of the Place to Be Reviews.
I am the Patriot, Drew Taylor, aka Supreme Heretic.
The Red Gaze on YouTube, at the Red Gaze on Twitter.
What up, what up, what up?
Hello, everybody. It's me, Vinny.
The voice of Immortal Coil.
Oh, hey, I am the Ghost Bear.
What's going on, Tommy? You didn't get anybody to like this?
Yeah, I'm Wes Moody of the Wes Moody Webcast.
Tone Death, rockin'.
I mean, we have a lot of cool things over there. I did some magic tricks.
Hi, guys. Try to stay here.
My name is Monkey Knight.